fill up coffee. Oh. Hi, it is Tuesday in my world and it's quiet. I spilled coffee on myself. Back in my routine. I've missed you. I missed recording for a week. I had my friend here from Oregon for a week, from Monday to Monday. And we had a terrific visit and we saw many things while she was here. And I made many beautiful memories. So I'm so happy that that happened. And the way I operate is when I have people come to visit, I really do like to be present. So I put all my recording stuff away and I thought, I'm having a vacation from YouTube, which also meant I didn't watch a lot of YouTube. I didn't respond to comments and I didn't make YouTube videos. And it was so crazy because on April 22nd, Earth Day, I made my first YouTube goal, which is 1,000 subs. Thank you to all of you who have subbed my channel in the last 2 years and supported me and watched my content and left beautiful comments. It means the world to me because I love doing YouTube and I love sharing my life with you and I love recording my life for my family. So I thought, what could this video be about as I'm coming back into being on YouTube again or recording? So I got up this morning and I had a cup of coffee and I looked all over for my tripod, which I could not find until Motorcycle Man called and reminded me where I had put it. Thank the goodness. Who says that? And I found it. I had put it on the bookshelf after I'd taken a big family portrait while family was here. And so glad I found it. So here I am, my tripod and my coffee. And I'm talking to you. My coffee is cold and it's black. Sometimes I put cream in it and sometimes I don't. Cold black coffee, amazing. I got up this morning and I knew my friend wasn't going to come down the stairs and say, okay, let's go for our adventure today. So it felt it's quiet, but I like it. And I lit my candle. And today is the anniversary of my grandpa's death. It is May 6th today. So I went out into the garden and he had given me rose bushes. And there's these rose bushes that are a beautiful peach color. And I cut some of the peach roses that are blooming and I brought them in and I put them in my new Holly Hobby vase that Mama Bear and Papa Bear gave me for my birthday, and did a little intro of that. And then I lit my patchouli candle that my mom got me for my birthday and had a good morning. So that was the opening of the video, just, what I do. And now I thought, well, should I review the week in which I spent with my friend? Because we did go on a lot of adventures. Like I got outside my comfort bubble zone. I live in a globe, a little snow globe here of just a little radius of where I explore. And Ocean's Child, that's what I call her because she loves the ocean. And she has two daughters that she calls her two mermaids. So I call her Ocean's Child from John Lennon's song, Julia. And anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, what did we do? We did lots of things and she got me out of my comfort zone. And I had to drive in LA traffic, which is always interesting. And I just channeled my Zen and I was like, I can do this. I used to do this when I was a teenager. I used to drive into the city and think nothing of it, although I think there was less traffic back in those days. And I even drove a 65 Mustang that didn't have power steering. And I just cruised on the freeway up to Griffith Park and down to Melrose. And I just did these things like as if it was nothing. I wasn't afraid of anything back then. And now I'm terrified of everything. But I did it. I drove us around. I did it. So would you like to know some of the stuff we did while she was here? Because although I wasn't filming for YouTube, I was filming for memories and remembering the time that we had together. And so if you want to stick around, you can see what we did each day, just a little bit. I won't try to overwhelm, but what I'll do is I'll talk about what we did, and then I'll pull in those moments so you can actually visually see what was going on as I'm talking about it. My friend flew in on a Monday. It was Monday, April 28th, and that is also the day my firstborn was born. And he turned 30 on the day that Cindy arrived. And so we picked up his birthday cake and we got home and family came together and we celebrated Aussie Bear's birthday, the big 3-0. I cannot believe I have a child who is 30 years old. And we had the best time. We ordered Chinese food and we ate Chinese food at the big dining room table. And I got him those sparky candles, and we sang happy birthday with those sparkly candles. And then he opened his big gift, which was a big boom box, because we all love music, and it's a portable big thing to listen to Bluetooth music. And we had a really wonderful time just being together as a family. So that was the beginning of the trip. So when we woke up the next morning, which was a Tuesday, I was not ready to adventure too far. So my friend who came to visit really loves K-pop and Korean dramas. I think they're like almost like soap operas. I'm not sure because I've never seen one, but she loves all things Korean. And actually, little does she know, or did she know, that I live in a highly populated Korean area. So we have all these fun stores to visit, and actually even a Korean mall just down the street from me. So I took her to the Korean mall, which also had a food court with all kinds of different foods we could choose to eat. And so we were able to order some delicious food, and we got this yummy. We came back and got a yummy dessert that we split later that day, and we popped in and out of all of these shops that my friend was completely in heaven going into these shops. And honestly, these shops are really neat because they're very colorful and there's lots of beautiful things to look at. And so that was our first day. I also took her, and I don't have too much footage of Uptown Whittier, but I took her to Uptown Whittier to see where the movie Disturbia was filmed. The house that it was filmed at is in Uptown Whittier, and that's one of her favorite movies. So I took her up there, and Uptown Whittier is where Motorcycle Man and I first lived when we got married. So I was able to tour her around and show her our first apartment and where I used to walk Aussie Bear in his stroller. And she really loved Uptown Whittier. But unfortunately, I didn't take a lot of film of that because for me, that's just like regular. Like, I just didn't do it. She even got out at one point and took a video of a orange tree in someone's yard because she thought that was pretty neat. And so that was the very first full day we had together was in Uptown Whittier and here locally by my house in some of the Korean stores. I even took her to a Korean grocery store because she wanted to get some kind of a drink that she had seen on one of her K-dramas. And she was just in complete heaven. So it was pretty awesome to surprise her with that since she had no idea that I lived in the community of where there's a lot of Korean stores. And then, believe it or not, it's already Wednesday, and it feels like, oh my goodness, the week is half over. What is going on? How does time happen like this? But we got up, and I said, today's the day. Today's the day we go into LA. And I had wanted to see about 5 different locations in LA, and I don't know what I was thinking. But top on her list was the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And I had never been as long as I've lived here. It's really not too far from my house. It's like, 30, 35 miles, but as LA goes, it takes much longer to get to and from places, but we got there, and I did it. I was like, I did it, I got here. And so it's free to do. It's absolutely free parking, free everything. So we pulled into the cemetery and we meandered around, and a lot of celebrities and musicians are buried in that cemetery. And we wanted to just kind of see who was there. And it's a beautiful cemetery, gorgeous, iconic Hollywood cemetery. Palm trees. I think it's the Paramount Tower you can see in the distance. And then in the entry, you can actually see the Hollywood sign. And there's peacocks that wander around the cemetery. There are feral cats that they have like a cassowary for, and they kind of roam the cemetery. They're very strange cats, by the way. They reminded me of Pet Sematary, actually. They were very interesting looking. And the cats kind of wander the cemetery, and there's geese that walk around, and black ducks, and there's a pond. And some of the notable celebrities that I was able to find was Burt Reynolds. There was Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubin, I believe his name is. We had no idea. There was a red bow tie sitting there, and then it dawned on me, oh, that's Pee Wee Herman. So we saw Pee Wee Herman's grave. I wanted to see Johnny Ramone from the Ramones because I love music, and so that was that was just number one on my list. He has the most epic gravestone. It's a statue of him playing the guitar, and it's in prime real estate with the view of the pond and the palm trees. It's just stunning. So I was able to find his. She wanted to find the person that tragically died too early that was in Star Trek, and I cannot think of his name, and because I didn't know this celebrity, but he has a beautiful, very close to Johnny Ramone gravestone with his statue. And my friend Cindy left a "You Are Beautiful" sticker and filmed that for her two mermaids. Also Pearl Jam. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name. But
Chris
here,
Cornell.
I filmed it and I say it in this little portion here. He's next to Johnny Ramone too, but it's kind of a less, what it would be the word? It's a very simple grave. And I can't believe I can't remember his name, but then again I can because I'm me and I'm not scripted. I also saw Mickey Rooney's. He's in the wall, and sadly Anne Heche. We all know her tragic death. She is very near Rooney. The mausoleum is like nothing I have ever seen before. It was stunning, gorgeous. Oh my goodness, very quiet and peaceful. We walked through the mausoleum. They had where people's ashes are in the walls, and they also had kind of like clear glass. They reminded me of shadow boxes, people who would put their kind of like personal belongings and photographs and certain things for you to see through this glass in the mausoleum walls. And it was really interesting and kind of fun. And then also, speaking of that, Judy Garland is also in a mausoleum, but on the way other side of the cemetery in the Judy Garland area. And we went to see where she was in her mausoleum area. And a lot of the people around her kind of had things in their shadow boxes that represented her as well. So they must have been fans. And that was a really full day we had. at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, we spent over 3 hours just meandering the grounds and walking around looking at all the beautiful things. And also at this cemetery, they will hold events like concerts and movies after dark in the cemetery. And they also have events, Day of the Dead event there, and just different things that they keep the cemetery alive, if you will. And it's iconic. And if you were ever anywhere near here, I highly recommend it. And after we spent over 3 hours at the cemetery, she wanted to see the iconic Griffith Park. You know, it's been in a few movies. I first saw it in Rebel Without a Cause, and then I wanted to see it as a teenager. And I spent a lot of time up there as a teenager. They would play, they would have Pink Floyd laser shows in the auditorium of the building. And I went to several of those shows, and I even took my parents because I wanted everyone to see the show that was up at Griffith. They don't do it anymore. I don't know why, because it was pretty epic, but it's not at all what it used to be. You used to be able to park in the parking lot right up there where the building is, and now it goes all the way down. Parking is just horrific. So many people want to see it, know about it, that it's crowded, it's crazy. It's a deal to get there, and you have to pay for parking now. I don't remember ever having to pay for parking when I was younger. You could just park on the side of the road or in the parking lot, and it was free, and now nothing is free anymore. But we lucked out because we got parking close because someone was pulling out and we pulled in. All of the parking meters were broken, so we didn't even have to pay for parking, which would have been $10 an hour. And that didn't happen, and we didn't get a ticket, so that was good. And we just got to, I got to show her the views of LA. It was semi-murky, not, you could kind of see the city. And we enjoyed the iconic Griffith. And then we drove 30 miles home, and it took 2 hours. But all worth it. And when you have a friend in the car, you have things to talk about. So that was our day in LA. And it was our only day in LA because I was not going to drive back into LA. It's a lot. It's a lot to do. But I'm proud of myself that I did it, and we had a wonderful time. So that was Wednesday. And Thursday, now we're already waking up and it's Thursday. So Thursday is our Orange County Day. Not the LA day, the Orange County Day. If you're not from around here, we have 2 different counties. One is a little more, I will say, it's beachy, it's more spread out, it's not as compacted, and it's a totally different, that's the beauty of California. You can be here one day and here the next, and it's almost like you're in 2 completely different worlds. So we went to Orange County. We have a friend, Ashley, a mutual friend between us that wanted to see Cindy as well. So we drove to San Juan Capistrano to see our friend Ashley, who has a beautiful home and wonderful animals. And Cindy and Ashley love sea glass. And there's a wonderful beach in Dana Point that is kind of known for sea glass. So we went to this beach and we walked around. And Ashley she has an eye for it. She can just boom, 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 sea glass. And I did find a few of my own pieces, but Ashley was finding them like 10-1 on mine and sharing it with us because she has so many already. So we were collecting our sea glass. It was the most beautiful, beautiful day in South Orange County because, it could be gloomy with a little bit of the, I forgot what it's called, when you're by the ocean and it gets a little bit gloomy, but that was none of that. It was blue sky, puffy clouds, gorgeous, gorgeous turquoise blue water, and perfect weather. And we walked around and we got rocks and sea glass. And for us type of people, that is like an epic day. We came home with pockets full of rocks and handfuls of sea glass. And we couldn't wait to get home to spread it all out and to see what we got. We went to a really neat taco stand there and ate tacos, one of Ashley's favorite taco places, and had a really good visit. We walked down to the end of the street and took in the view of the harbor. There's a Dana Point harbor, and it's beautiful. And again, the weather was just absolutely perfect. That was our Thursday. Oh no, Thursday didn't end there. Forgive me. We wanted to show our friends the farmer's market that we love to go to. So we, Thursday night, ended up at the farmer's market and listened to music, watched them dance, got a little bit of food, and enjoyed a little bit of Thursday night at the market. And I wanted to show her a little community nearby called Orange, because she's also sort of obsessed with oranges, like the citrus fruit. So this little community nearby me is called Orange, and it's downtown Orange, which is like stepping back in time. So we spent some time in Orange, walking in and out of the shops, but she also wanted to get a tattoo while she was here in California. That was really important to her. So I found a tattoo place in Orange that had little oranges on the outside of the window. I don't know if I recorded that part, but she really wanted to go to this tattoo shop, and they were so nice in there. The owner, Johnny, came out and he's talked to us, and he asked us where we were from, and she let him know she was from Oregon. And I said, well, I'm from a little town around here called such and such. And I said, no one's really ever heard of it. And then the tattoo artist, the one that actually did Cindy, perked up and he said, I live in that town. And he literally lives in the next little housing place neighborhood next to me. Like I could probably walk across the street and find his house. And so when he tattooed my friend, she wanted Cali, and she wanted it to look like the L's to look like waves and a little sun and a little palm tree. Speaking of palm trees, my friend was obsessed with our palm trees, taking videos, pictures of all of our California palm trees, and she wanted one forever on her arm. Saturday, the next day when I woke up, was my birthday, my 55th birthday. So we got to celebrate our son's 30th birthday when she arrived, and towards the end we got to celebrate my 55th birthday while she was here. I'm really low key, so it was a very low key day for my birthday. It was just Motorcycle Man, Ocean's Child, and myself, and we slept in. We had a slow morning. We went to a famous, it is famous, a Cuban bakery close to where I live, and it's always insane. The parking's insane, the lines are outrageous, but the food is amazing. So we went to Porto's Cuban Bakery, and I got the most delicious sandwich because I had recently had it and I was craving it. It was pickled onions, turkey, and candied bacon with a little bit of spice in the bacon, and fresh, delicious bread. And we got some pastries while we were there, and we enjoyed our meal at Porto's. I'm super low key and I don't like parties at all. So I really liked that my birthday was very simple with two people I really love. And when we got back into this side of the town where I live, I said, well, I haven't taken you to a thrift store, so let's go to a thrift store locally. And what she really, really wanted to do while she was here is to make me her family recipe, her grandmother and mother's lemon pudding recipe. So she bought me custard cups that she left with me, and she showed me how to make this family recipe of lemon pudding. And we spent time in the kitchen, which is one of my favorite things to do, listening to music. She loves Duran Duran. So we had Duran Duran on, and she made this lemon pudding that is to die for. Man Cub gave it a 10 out of 10. So we had pudding, and then we just threw together what we had in the fridge for dinner, which was iceberg lettuce. We had ground beef to brown up, and we made somewhat of like a taco salad for dinner, just with what we had. And we plopped down on the couch, we watched TV, we ate our salad, we had our beautiful, yummy lemon puddings, and I opened up some of my gifts for my birthday. I got some really fun gifts for my birthday. I felt very loved. I got lots of text messages, voice memos, cards in the mail. Every time it's my birthday, I feel extremely loved and happy to be alive. We wake up on Sunday morning and we know it's getting near the end of the trip, but the boys, Man Cub and Aussie Bear and their partners, had planned a beautiful tea for us in the South Bay at a tea house that is pretty famous. I don't remember the name, but I do have film of it. So I'm showing you little bits of this tea house here. And we had a proper tea, and we each had our own tea to drink, and tea sandwiches, and scones, and jam, and madeleines, I think they're called, and chocolates, and the kids treated me and Cindy to a beautiful tea and lunch in the South Bay. So then that we were able to show Cindy another little piece of California. And after that, Cindy really wanted to make it to, she would have loved to have had a Disney day. She loves Disneyland, and it's not too far from me. But instead, we went to downtown Disney, and we went in and out of the hotels and in the souvenir shops, and ended up in downtown Disney. And so Cindy did a lot of shopping for her family in downtown Disney, and me, Starshine, Crystal, and Aussie Bear went up to a bar where they have the most cute little bird wine drinks. It's a rosé sparkling wine in a the cutest little glass bird you have ever seen. And we enjoyed our rosé in this bird. Starshine said, "Oh my goodness." They also have a frosé in a flamingo glass. We have to get that too. So the kids treated me to these epic bird rosé frosé drinks, and we enjoyed just sitting up there on top. It's like a 2-story up above downtown Disney, enjoying our epic bird drinks and great conversation, and ended our evening with a churro. And that was our Saturday day. Also prolonging the birthday celebration with the kids, and then ended up back at the house. The kids went in the jacuzzi and we had a wind down time. And oh my goodness, we knew that was that the last day? That was the last day, because then the next day she woke up and it was time for her to leave and the trip was over. So I personally wanted to just kind of document our trip here to share with you, but also for me to remember the time that we had together, to see little blippets of the memories we made. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for this life that I live. I know that times are tough for a lot of us right now, and things are just different, you know. Life is different, and sometimes it can feel unpredictable, a bit scary. The future's weird, but there's still so much to be thankful for in this life. And I'm thankful that I was born, and I'm thankful that I have people around me that love me, and I'm glad I can share it with you, and I'm glad that you want to hang around. And you all seem to love my dancing, so I will not disappoint, and I will wrap this video up with a dance.